Once upon a time, in a sky filled with fluffy white clouds, there was a little cloud named Puff. Puff was the smallest cloud in the sky and always dreamed of having a big adventure. Every day, Puff would watch the bigger clouds drift across the world, forming rainstorms and casting shadows on the earth below. One sunny morning, Puff decided it was time to go on an adventure of his own. "I'm going to see the world," Puff announced to his friends. The other clouds laughed gently, thinking Puff was too small for such a big journey. But Puff was determined. With a deep breath and a puff of wind, Puff set off. He floated over rolling green hills, sparkling blue lakes, and bustling towns. As he traveled, he noticed how different the world looked from high up in the sky. As Puff floated along, he saw a small village below. The villagers were gathered in the town square, looking worried. Puff drifted lower to hear what they were saying. "We need rain for our crops, or they will wither and die," said an elderly farmer. Puff felt a pang of sympathy for the villagers. "Maybe I can help," he thought. Puff concentrated hard, trying to gather as much moisture as he could. He puffed up his cheeks and squeezed his eyes shut, willing himself to grow bigger. Slowly but surely, Puff started to swell with water. Finally, with a little shake, Puff released a gentle shower of rain over the village. The villagers looked up in surprise and joy as the raindrops fell, watering their thirsty crops. They cheered and waved, thanking the little cloud for his kindness. Feeling proud of himself, Puff continued on his journey. He floated over forests, mountains, and rivers, parched lands, and casting cool shadows on hot, sunny days. Everywhere he went, Puff left a trail of happiness and gratitude. One day, as Puff drifted over a vast desert, he saw something extraordinary. A beautiful oasis with palm trees and a sparkling blue pond. But something was wrong. The pond was almost dry, and the animals looked thirsty and tired. Puff knew he had to help. He gathered all the moisture he could find, puffing himself up until he was as big as he could be. Then, with all his might, he let out a refreshing downpour over the oasis. The pond filled up, and the animals danced and splashed in the cool water. "Thank you, little cloud," said a wise old turtle. "You have saved our home." Feeling a warm glow of happiness, Puff realized that he didn't need to be a big cloud to make a big difference. His kind heart and determination were enough to bring joy and help to those in need. With his adventure complete, Puff decided it was time to return home. As he floated back to his part of the sky, his friends greeted him with cheers and applause. "You're a hero, Puff," they exclaimed. "You may be small, but you have the biggest heart of all." From that day on, Puff was no longer just the little cloud. He was known as the brave and kind cloud who went on a big adventure and made the world a better place. And so Puff floated happily among his friends, always ready for his next adventure, knowing that even the smallest cloud can have the biggest impact.